Hey everyone, Ashley here with another reading, and well, if you must know, I'm basically doing the one I did say that I would do, which is, well, you recall the story I read before, which kind of sounded similar to another, and well, this one involves Clove, and well, let's just say I felt that it was needed to be read and, well, heard. So yeah, this is a short one. It is called Pain and Love. Let us pretty much see exactly how sad it is. Because if you remember, or if you guys know, Clove is one of the sympathetic egg bosses. Because, well, you know her reasons behind why she's doing this and why she joined the army. It's really sad when you think about it. Anyways, she was dead. She was dead and it was all her fault. Cassia lay there, stiff and unmoving and wide-eyed. The cybernetics had locked up, trapping her forever, and there was nothing Clove could do about it. They had failed once too many, once too often, and Cassia was punished for Clove's mistakes by having the fail saves in her cybernetic activate. Then she heard it. That laugh. That snickering, twisted laugh. Eggman's laugh. The laugh seemed to come from everywhere. It surrounded her and pierced her soul with its erupted concassy. Clove did her best to block it out, but it buried into her ears and refused to go away. It was her fault, all her fault, all her fault that this happened. As the laugh grew louder, Clove began to cry waterfalls openly. The dam of pain and sadness that she had tried to build and broke under the stream. Then Clove awoke with a silent, hesitative scream. Clove attempted to calm herself down, trying to deep breaths and wiping the sweat off her brow. After regaining her senses, Clove stalked off the situation and her environment. She was in a room at her base. The officer's quarters, obviously. The room was sparse, having only her bed, 2 lamps, and a desk. Why 2 lamps? I don't get that. It was Spartan, just as Clove was used to, just as Clove liked it. Clove sighed heavily. It had only been a dream. A horrid but a dream nonetheless. Is this a dream? It's more like a nightmare. Sorry. Her sister was safe. Things were fine. No, that was a lie. Things were certainly not fine. They were here, part of the Egg Army, still Dr. Eggman's slaves in all but name. This was her fault. It had been her idea to go to Eggman for help. She should have known what he would do. She had heard the stories, and she should have been smarter. Again, you just want to hug the poor thing. I mean, seriously, poor Clove. I know she basically can be level-headed and all, but she herself pretty much must be really hurting on the inside. I mean, seriously. And the fact that she worries about her sister, it's just, oh my god. And poor Cassia, just the poor thing. Can anyone give a hug for these 2, please? I mean, seriously, they deserve it. Anyways, but she was desperate. Cassia needed help sooner rather than later, and it felt like Eggman was their only option. Well, now they were both stuck, and it was all Clove's fault. She knew if she screwed up too much, then Eggman would take it out on Cassia, and it would not be pretty. Clove sighed again, a little lighter this time. This was such a horrible situation. Clove decided to get out of bed and go check on Cassia. She had had to be sure she was safe. As Clove walked down the hall of the Northermere Egg Army Base, she took great care not to be noticed by those on night duty. Thankfully, Clove was used to sneaking around and got by without much trouble. And as she neared Cassia's room, she picked up the pace a bit, the adrenaline heightening her anxiety. She opened the door quietly and was very thankful Cassia was a heavy sleeper. Yeah, I figured as though she'd be kind of heavy sleeper. She looked at Cassia. Young, innocent, executed Cassia, and frowned. The metal parts were visible even in the soft light, showing every inch of what had been done to her. Clove knew how people looked at her and knew that she would be judged for her new looks for the rest of her life. Okay, seriously, that's just like a reminder about how people would treat Alphonse in FMA. That's what I see these two as. Although Clove pretty much could be a much more calm and collected Edward, while Cassie is much more of an sort of hot-headed, arrogant Alphonse. Just saying. Also, for the fact that Cassia has more armor and well, I think Clove basically just has it in her hooves. I don't know, just a thought. Clove then decided to leave. Cassia was fine. Cassia was safe. But for how long? As Clove walked back to her room, as the sadness grew in her gut again, this was her fault. All her fault. And Clove knew that fact immediately. But she was an egg boss, and had a duty to perform, and she needed rest. As she returned to her room and got uncleared covers, she hoped she would have no more nightmares for the sake of her sister and Clove's sanity. But the nightmares returned, and before Clove knew it, Cassie was shaking her awake. Oh, it's about time! It's nice to know that Clove has someone there to help her, and of course give her comfort. Oh my god, again, this is just a reminder of Edda now. That's another reason why I like Clove and Cassia. They just have that strong connection. I mean, we don't know what happened to their family. We don't know exactly what happened to what their lives used to be like. I mean, seriously, Archie made us want to see more of them. Thankfully, there are basically people out there who can actually make like little comics or probably some fanfics about them. I don't really see much of that. I really would like to see more of that. Because, come on, these egg bosses, they were a great addition, and yet they were dropped way too soon. Just way too soon. Anyways. When Clove had asked what Cassia was doing in her room, Cassia said that she had come to check on her and heard her screaming in her sleep. Cassia then asked if something was wrong, and Clove simply hugged her. Cassia was slightly surprised, but still hugged Clove back. As this feeling of sisterly love and warmth flooded Clove's senses, she thought that maybe, just maybe, things would turn out all right for them. Or if not the both of them, at least for Cassia, Clove could live with that. And that's pretty much it. Seriously. Seriously? None of them were basically talking, but I don't think words were actually needed with them. Which, honestly, it's one of those rare stories that you actually kind of don't get, but it is rather nice. And this was relatively nice. I mean, you get to know about Clove's struggle and all, and especially how much she has to work. It's pretty much a lot. And Cassia, she tries her best to help, but you could say that she just wished she could do more. And let's just say these two really work off with each other, and yeah. I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you excuse me, I'm gonna go eat a tub of ice cream because I do pretty much feel bad for them. Oh boy. I'll see y'all later. Bye everyone.